This video will be a valuable lesson to those that like to stick their nose into other people's business. Today I have brought you a video from the Am I the Asshole subreddit because I thought it was pretty funny. So we have our main protagonist, let's call him Brandon. What you need to know about this guy is that he has a somewhat unusual medical condition, that being an overproduction of earwax. Just so you understand what I'm talking about, his condition is so serious that he could have easily started his own candle company and sold it to the Kardashians along with himself if he didn't take his medicines. On the other hand, I think something like this can be surprisingly beneficial as he doesn't have to buy earplugs. His earwax has him covered. Now, surprisingly, Brandon is not the proudest person when it comes to his Niagara ear holes, so only his wife and parents know about this. Sadly, this will cause a bit of a problem. So one day, Brandon was attending a huge family dinner where all sorts of relatives showed up. You know, like the drunk uncles who chug down a beer or two then just magically disappear. Then there are the cool uncles, the weird woman who you have never seen before but tells you she was wiping your ass when you were little, and of course all sorts of cousins. Among those cousins were Kara, who apparently likes to shit where people eat. In the middle of the family dinner, Brandon's alarm went off. Which signaled it's time to do the usual ritual to prevent the ear juice tsunami, so he waltzed off to the bathroom to take care of that. On the way back, however, he unexpectedly bumped into the main villain of our story, Kara, and the following conversation happened. What are you doing? Just a minor medical thing. What does that mean? You don't need to know, but I do want to know. Kara, I swear, if the Catholic Church saw you, they would start promoting abortions. Okay, that conversation did not entirely happen like that, but I think it's way funnier this way, so we'll keep it. However, after Brandon has finished his thing, Kara was still waiting outside, giving our man the suspicious side eye, as if she would have assumed that our Brandon just did something terrible in that unholy bathroom, like war crimes or genocide or even worse, putting back the toilet roll backwards. Who does that? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Who in their right mind does that? It's not that difficult, you just make it facing your direction. You don't make it hang there like a sad little waterfall of shame. You people who abuse your precious rolls are an evolutional dead end, alright? And I'm pretty sure there is a special place for you guys in hell. Anyway, back to the story. So after all that, Kara decided that she will take the matters into her own hands, which brings us to the next scene. A week passed by, and Brandon got invited by a friend of his to just hang out. You know, like a regular boys' night with lots of beers, pizza, and questionable gay jokes, and of course, our man couldn't say no. But little did he know that it wasn't just any kind of boys' night that day. As he got out of his car and carefully opened the door, the sight of many friends welcomed him, and in the middle of it was Kara, who asked him to sit down and tell the others about the questionable substances he's taking. Brandon was confused at first, thinking, why did everyone gather here and why does it matter what sort of medicines I'm taking? After a little bit of thinking though, Brandon managed to put the pieces together and he's come to understand the shocking reality that this was no ordinary boys' night. There are women. Moreover, after thinking a bit more, he realized this was a drug intervention in fact. After solving the mysterious case in just a couple of seconds, which seemed like an eternity in Brandon's head, he turned to Kara and had the only appropriate reaction to this whole thing. After having a great laugh and shaming Kara for a bit, it turned out everyone knew about his condition actually, except for Kara. His friends just never brought it up because, you know, they're decent human beings. Now, having understood the context, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to make the decision. Is he really the asshole? Well, obviously not. Man, I just don't understand. You have a condition, which is shitty as it is, and then there is a random cousin showing up who barely knows you, does absolutely no research on you, and immediately jumps to conclusions. She's like a living version of Twitter. You didn't have to be some sort of guru to realize that she went way over the line and Brandon had all the right in the world to make fun of her for doing what she did. Especially because she assumed all of this after seeing our man go to the toilet only once. What makes me more mad is people posting stuff like this all the fucking time on Reddit. I'm not kidding. There are people who post stuff like, my girlfriend/boyfriend broke up with me and now I feel bad. Am I the asshole? I'm like, brother in Christ, what are you even talking about? You know what? I'm not even gonna get into this. I will see y'all later. Love you.